And we have returned, and allow me to start this last segment off by quoting a motto of Catholic Charities. This was at the bottom of the director of Catholic Charities' email. Catholic Charities is building a just and compassionate society rooted in the dignity of all people. Words to live by, all people. How important is that? I know we are a channel called Catholic TV, but no matter your race, religion, creed, or country, we are all loved by God and deserve kindness and compassion. And speaking of kindness and compassion, we are truly blessed to be joined by a very special guest to the Lens. His name is Laith Jamil, and he is an Iraqi refugee and surgeon. Laith, welcome to the Lens.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is a thrill, and you're really bringing up our suit game on this set.
Oh.
Really cool
Thank
suit.
you.
So, Laith, a little bit about yourself. I think our audience would be really curious to know the circumstances that brought you from Iraq to America and now here to Studio A at Catholic TV.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate that. I'm Laith Jamil. I'm from Iraq, a surgeon. I graduated from medical school in Iraq. And after graduation, I worked with U.S. military on 2010. So I work at beginning as interpreter, and then I work as a medic. I work in Fallujah in the Green Zone, and then I moved to south of Iraq. So I moved from those locations because any place I work in, I got threats at that places. The location that I work in is close where I live, where my family live. So multiple times I got threatened. So I talked to my supervisor. He was captain on U.S. military. So he advised me to stop working with U.S. military. So I stopped working, and then he applied for me for IOM, International Organization for Migration. So at that time, it takes longer process. I moved to Egypt. I moved just to be away from that risk situation. Then I applied to school there to use the time, And I graduated from Ancient School of Surgeons in 2015, and then I moved to the United States in 2016, at the beginning of 2016.
A little bit about what your life was like in Iraq before you started working with the military. What was it like growing up in there? You're 31 years old,
yeah.
And I'm 33 years old, so we kind of have walked similar life experiences in number, but probably not in experience. What was upbringing in Iraq like?
Actually, I'm type of people that like to study. I was studying all the time. Yeah. Even when I was in high school, the system in Iraq is different from here, because to go to a good school, or to medical school or engineering, you should have a high score. So I was studying all the time. So part of my time I hang out with my friends. I like soccer, but my best sport is swimming. Oh. So when I was when I have time, so I just go swimming and or playing chess or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Chess, swimming, and soccer.
Soccer. Yeah.
Okay.
So
have you ever done all three at the same time?
Yeah.
That would be challenging. Okay, we're gonna have to play some chess soon. And then when you're commuting, so you're working in South Boston. You work currently for Catholic Charities.
Yeah.
What do you do for them?
I'm working as case manager, resettlement case manager.
What does that involve?
Actually, we receive my job. Receive a new arrival from airport and apply for them for benefits here, and provide them with housing, and then I be they'll be under my case management for 8 months. Yeah. Anything they need, they want to ask for, they're gonna ask me about it. So simply like that.
So where are they coming from? What countries? And obviously your experience has got to be really connected to their experiences in so many ways.
Yeah,
and you're really a great person to help them.
Oh, thank you. Actually, people under my case management from Iraq, and people from Afghanistan. I have 2 cases from Africa, from Somalia and Sudan. So those countries.
So obviously, migration outside of Iraq and other countries in the Middle East are being discussed right now. Yeah. It's in the news everywhere, on a Facebook feed, a front page of the New York Times. How does this make you feel right now, this discussion about limiting refugees, limiting people who are trying to leave countries, specifically your own country of Iraq?
Yeah, different people work with U.S. Army, and the process for migration takes long time. For me, it took me 5 years, and during that, people still facing many threats. And so people there really under risk, especially people who work with the United States Army, people that work and their families, and because that long process, they stuck in Iraq, and they even when they try to move out to Jordan, Egypt, or Turkey, they can't work there because they are not eligible for work, not authorized. So they stuck in Iraq. They face threats all the time, and that's really it's tragedy. And so for that reason, the last years really affect people in Iraq directly.
Yeah. So in many cases, if people can leave, there's oftentimes not work for them.
Yeah.
And if they stay in Iraq,
they stay under risk.
They're under great risk of all sorts of things to them and their families.
Yeah.
So what we're hearing is truly a portrait of someone who has experienced this firsthand. We're not talking about people, we're talking to a person, Laith. And I think it's really important to know, Laith lives here in Boston.
Yeah.
You may see him on the subway.
Yeah.
I have the joy of spending time with him right now.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
Just a little bit about what is a typical day for you now, as someone who is a trained surgeon who lived in Iraq most of their life and is now in Boston. What happens on a Saturday?
On Saturday, I hang out with friends, watch movies. Sometimes had a dinner with them at their houses, or play Xbox or something like that.
Xbox, nice.
Yeah.
And what is a typical food that you like? I know Catholic Charities office is across from Burger King, but my guess is you're not eating there every day.
Yeah. By the way, when I was working with the United States Army, they called me Cheeseburger Eddie. My name is I was used nickname with United States Army as Edward.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you weren't
my friends. Okay. Yeah. My friends call me Cheeseburger Eddie because I like burger.
Okay. So maybe it's good that you're across from a Burger King.
Yeah. Yeah.
And movies that you've seen or foods that you do eat around here?
Last movie I watched and I liked so much, Hidden Figures.
I saw that too. What a great story.
Best movies. Yeah, it's really
what a great story.
Yeah.
And then if not a cheeseburger, what are other foods that you like to have? Or favorite restaurants around Boston? Or stuff that you make at home?
Yeah, my best, it's Iraqi food. We call it dolma. It's grape leaves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are there Iraqi restaurants in the area that people can eat at, or is it something you have to kind of go out and buy and make?
Actually, we should make it because here, there's no Iraqi restaurants. Yeah. So no one make it here. No restaurant make it here.
Folks, if you want to try this, maybe Laith or Cheeseburger Eddie,
Cheeseburger
will let us know his recipe for that. Maybe we can put it up online. So in the final couple minutes of this interview, what is it that people need to know to best support folks who are coming into the country, or best to know about just the sort of refugee experience in general, whether it's someone who we're not allowing into the country for whatever reason, or whether someone who is in the country now who needs support? What kind of support and what kind of knowledge should they know?
Actually, if I want the refugees like me that they came, I don't want them to overwhelmed by news. Just if they want to, I just ask them to ask us about anything they want, direct to us anytime. They can ask us about anything they want. So I just want them to calm down, and it's fine. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay.
Those are words we all need to live with. Yeah. We got you a little gift basket here. There's some cool stuff in here from Catholic TV. It was well packed. But the thing that's special in here is we're going to give you some rosary beads.
Oh, that's great.
And we're going to let you know that you and everyone from Iraq and everyone from everywhere, we're keeping in our prayers, and we have your back.
Thank you so
much. And I want you to know that personally myself, anything that you need from me, I'm not too far. I'm right in Harvard Square.
I appreciate that.
So this
Thank
is
you so
for
much.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're a good guy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, folks, we're going to close out the show. That's all. We're going to be doing more things like this. Be well. Do good. Know everything's going to be okay. And we'll see you next time on The Lens. Okay. You're welcome. I opened it for you. I hope that wasn't culturally insensitive. You can put that there. And now in the future, we know to get you cheeseburgers.
Sure,
next time
yeah.
you're on the show. What kind of cheeseburgers? Everything on it? Ketchup, mustard, relish?